All right, you guys, you are ready to put your yarn onto your cardboard. So in fiber arts, I use something that's called fingertip to opposite shoulder length. And what I mean is just when you are cutting your yarn, it's good to have a sort of measurement for how long or short to make the yarn. So I like to say fingertip, meaning I'm holding the end of the yarn to my opposite shoulder. I'm not letting the yarn hang all loose like that. I'm holding it taut, meaning it's tight. You can kind of see it's going to my fingertip and now to my opposite shoulder. Put my finger right here, take my scissors, and I just snip this. And I just find that this is a good measurement. So a note about the yarn, you should have already picked up some of this yarn in your Ziploc bag, or you might have some extra at home that I didn't give you, and you can definitely use that for this project. I wanted you to have a couple different colors so that when you're creating your designs, you don't have to create it all in just one color, so it can actually be interesting. And that when it comes to color, it is your choice. So you guys are the artists. All right, so now that my yarn is ready, I'm ready to put it on my cardboard. Oh, I did forget something. What I was trying to say is that because I only gave you guys so much yarn in your Ziploc bag, during this project and the future ones, I just want to remind you to try to waste as little as possible, meaning only cut what you need, and try not to cut off such long tails and throw this away. Actually save this, even if it's a little bit, because you can always knot it on another smaller piece and make one longer piece. So that's really important. I do not want you to run out of string for this project because that would be really sad. So just try not to waste it. Okay, let's talk about how to get it on the cardboard. We're going to tilt us down, and we're going to thread our needle like we did in the other video. Putting my yarn right here, pinching it in my hot dog bun, sending it through the eye of my tapestry needle. Don't forget to knot it, or else if you do forget to knot it, you are just going to be having that yarn just always fall out. Make it like a letter Q, pull that little tail through, and just one single knot tight will do. Okay, that all rhymed. Okay, so now I need a little bit of tape, and I'm just going to rip barely an inch of tape like that. And this is going to secure the end or the tail of my yarn on the back side. I never want to put tape on the front side. That's the side that should look good. The tape should always go on the back. Okay, when you're starting your string stitch dot, you want to send your needle from the back to the front. You don't want to start from the front or the top, from the top to the bottom, because then your tape will be on top. So always put your needle from the bottom to the top. And you can start at any hole that you want. I'm pulling it all the way, and I'm just pulling it up, and I'm going to flip this over and pull it to where I have not a really long tail like this, but to a little bit of a shorter tail. This is one of those things, this is an example of how you can just not waste your yarn. You don't want to have really long tails and just waste yarn like that. You want to pull it pretty tight, not too much to where you have nothing to tape down, but I'd say about an inch. I'm going to take my tape, and like a little bridge, I'm going to tape it over. All right, notice how I tape this. Did I tape it over any holes? No, I do not want to put my tape over any holes, or else my needle won't go through. So be careful when you're taping that you are taping that little tail, the end of your yarn, either from the inside on the circle or on the outside. So you can kind of see right here, I had some tails I taped on the outside. outside, but on this one, I taped them all inside. It's kind of wherever you have room. You want to make sure that's pressed down so that it doesn't slip out. Okay, now my string is actually attached to my cardboard and I can just start my design from here. And all of these upcoming videos by Cassie Stevens, she's an artist who also did this project. She's going to show you how to do each of the designs. So whether it's radiating lines, rotating squares, or the spectrum, kind of like this one, okay? So from here, if I was doing the radiating lines, I would place my thread or my needle through here, pull, come back up to that same point because I'm always starting at the same point, and go to my next one. So as you do this, you'll kind of realize that with the yarn, it's totally different than when you are drawing it with a ruler than when you're actually stitching it. So often some of these designs, you got to come to that same point again. And just like that, you are on your way. So you can kind of see if you flip it over on the back, you kind of get a similar pattern. Oftentimes it looks a little bit crazier on the back because you went different ways. And let's see, is there anything else? I think that is it, Fiber Arts. I'll go through some of the directions in the upcoming slides. And again, if any of this is confusing, you aren't alone and I'm happy to help. So please just message me with any questions. All right, good luck, you guys.